All right, so in your class, you're going to be using this counting slide, all right, called the InCyto C chip. It's also called the hemocytometer. A hemocytometer, obviously hemo for blood, and cyto for cell, and meter to measure. I mean, it's a way of counting slides. A glass hemocytometer costs about $300 for just the one slide. So we're not using those. We're using these ones that are plastic, and they have a grid over the top. Yeah, they have a cover slip over the top, and then there's a grid etched onto the slide. The thing is, you're going to need to still, even these still cost a lot, and then as you add them up for the numbers of students, we can only give you one of these. But you will need to use it, I don't have the exact number, over 20 times you're going to be using it during the class, so you're going to have to reuse it over and over again and clean it. So this is really important that you maintain and take care of this, or you won't be able to do some of the laboratory work that you're doing, and counting cells for yeast cells and algal cells and other things you're looking at under the slide. So what do you need to do that? In your kit you have a little pipette like this. You're going to use this, and then you just have some water, and then what I recommend is you getting a little cup. You can have some water and put some dishwashing detergent in it. What I found was that just trying to flush this out with water didn't work that well. But when I flushed it out first with the dishwashing detergent and then the water, it worked really, really well. So what you will be doing is you would get your pipette, and you would see there's a loading chamber. That's where you're going to be putting your samples into it. And then there's a little overflow chamber. So there's actually a cover slip that goes over a grid, and there are two openings. And then there's two of these on your slide. Okay, so you have separate ones. So you're gonna have to clean each of them. If you use both, if you only use one, just clean the one, but never let it sit and dry out. Always make sure you rinse it and clean it every time you use it. This is a really old one. They're not gonna look so faded. You should be getting a new one from the kit that'll be sealed for at least the first time you use it. But then how good it's gonna be is up to you. So what I recommend doing is take your pipette, pushing it right, not really hard, but pushing it pretty securely up against that opening. And then I'm gonna do this in the sink, but you're gonna squeeze, and you should be forcing the liquid through the chamber, and it should come out the other side. So when I do this here, I'm flushing it like that, and I'm trying to force the liquid, I'm using the detergent, through, not over the top, but inside. There's a little chamber. That's where all the cells are going to be when you're actually doing your counts. And so do this on, if both sides on this one were dirty, so I'm doing both sides. I recommend doing this 3 times. I can see it moving because I saw bubbles, like a whole bunch of bubbles just flush right through underneath the cover slip. And if you can do that, you're definitely going to clean your slide, and it'll be useful the whole entire course. If you don't do this, then it may not be usable for you, and then you'll run into some difficulty. So now that I'm taking just the fresh water, just no soap, and I'm rinsing it out again. So I'm going to continue doing this. I'd say at least 3 times with just water to flush it, like this. Again, it should be coming out the other side. You should kind of take note of it. Sometimes when you see bubbles move across, that way you'll know it's actually working. There, 1, 2, we'll do it one more time. Okay, so I was using this one today for some pictures that are going to be in Blackboard for the course. Get some kind of paper towel, wipe it off, try to keep it from getting really scratched up, especially the back side. No side of it. Don't let any of it get scratched up. Try to take care of it. Now the thing is, there's going to be liquid still underneath the cover slip. And so if you were to immediately use it, it's not going to work so great at this moment right now, because there's still you're going to put a drop of liquid there, and it's not going to really go anywhere because there's already liquid there that you just used to rinse it. So what I recommend is getting something like just a little drinking straw that you can then place at the opening here, and then just blow, and that's a huge amount of liquid just kind of shoot out of that other side. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. There you go. A lot of liquid just came out. So it's not going to make it perfectly dry. If you have trouble, you can go ahead and put it in a little Ziploc bag then with some rice or some uncooked rice or couscous, some kind of grain, something like that, that will then absorb water and moisture. So then the next time you go to use it, you'll take it out of there and it'll be all dry. And then when you take your next sample and load it in there to look at it under the microscope, it'll be perfectly clean and ready to use.